Environmentally friendly fuel is twice as efficient as gas. They are called pellets, which are granules from wastes of wood, sunflower and corn. A lion's share of Ukrainian pellets were being exported to Europe years ago. Now these products are widely available in Ukraine. To be warm in winter and not pay extra money, modern and efficient technologies are constantly being introduced. The rise of gas prices in Ukraine is not conducive to the widespread use of imported natural gas because it is not economically profitable. Old gas boiler houses in many regions have been converted to run on pellets. The woodworking industry is well developed in the north and west of Ukraine, as there are many forests. Wood processing creates a lot of waste, so sawdust, shavings, and chips are pressed under the pressure of 300 atmospheres without adding glue, thus producing ecological pellets. The granule size ranges from 10 to 30 millimeters in length and 6 millimeters in diameter. The heat production of this fuel is about the same as that of coal, up to 5 kilowatts per hour, compared to natural gas. A ton of pellets provide us much heat as 480 cubic meters of gas. Compared to other fuels, 1 ton of pellets provides as much heat as 500 liters of diesel fuel or 700 liters of fuel oil. Wooden pellets first appeared as a byproduct. They were invented back in 1976 by a Bavarian owner of a sawmill, Rudi Hunerman. He was trying to reduce the cost of waste removal. He came up with the idea of granulating sawdust to fit more than into one car. And then he realized that these granules could also be used for heating. In the early 1990s, mass production of wooden pellets for industrial purposes started across Europe. Around the world, the primary raw material for this is wood. Approximately 95% of pellets are made from wood waste. This is probably because pellets from straw, sunflower husks, buckwheat, and other agricultural waste products produce less energy, so they are only used in areas with wood shortage. Wood waste pellets have better energy efficiency, approximately 17 megajoules per ton. While agricultural pellets provide 13 megajoules. Compared to gas, we save about 20%. Pellets are categorized as renewable energy. Besides, they are economizing. 1,000 cubic meters of gas per calorie is equal to 2 tons of wood pellets, but pellets are 2 times cheaper. There is a lot of positive feedback from schools and hospitals because our heat is much more effective than gas. Gas is very different from the standard today. Its calorie content is very low. In the 80s, Europe and the US began using pellets as fuel. These countries had already understood the need for energy-efficient technologies back then.
Одна из технологий – это выращивание энергетических растений.
One of the technologies is growing energy crops, especially willow that grows up to 3 or 4 meters in a couple months and gets cut down every year. Its wood chips are used in boilers. It is, in fact, a constant renewable energy resource. Every year, willow grows, then gets mowed, then is burnt in autumn, and in spring it starts growing again without any investment. Just mow it over the course of 30 to 40 years. It is like a gas well.
И все на протяжении 30, 35, даже до 40 лет. То есть получаешь такую некую свою газовую скважину, если ты замещаешь газ.
Similar technologies are actively being developed in Sweden, Norway, and Denmark. They have been planting the so-called energy crops for quite a long time, but they do not have enough land that would be not used for agricultural purposes, so there is not enough energy willow in Northern Europe. The potential usage of such power crops in Ukraine is at least 5 million hectares. According to the Ukrainian Committee of Energy Independence, that much land can be allocated for planting willow.
Мы, допустим, как компания 2 года назад высадили энергетическую вербу в Киевской области.
Our company planted energy willow in the Kiev region 2 years ago. and it has been showed good results. We have even received a grant from the Swedish government for new technology. They want to use a lot of our territory to plant their genetically selected saplings. It is an environmentally safe technology. It is just that the structure of these trees allows them to grow very fast. A large crop of land for planting can yield up to 120 cubic meters of fuel. The production of 5 hectares is enough to heat a small village. These projects already exist in Poland and Austria. Ukraine is actively introducing this advanced European experience. We used to buy expensive Russian gas and export alternative fuels, thanks to which Europeans have reduced their gas consumption. Today, because of the rise of domestic gas prices, it has become efficient and cost-effective to use other fuels. In order to not lose money on logistics, companies began selling pellets here. They also started investing in Ukraine and setting up alternative fuel boiler house equipment to replace natural gas. These are purely economic stimuli that have started working in Ukraine. As a result, we buy nearly 10 billion cubic meters less gas. We have already saved billions of dollars. This boiler, with a capacity of 500 kilowatts, heats 6 municipal buildings in a village: a kindergarten, a multi-story building, a dormitory, the city council, a school, and a hospital. There is virtually no soot left after burning pellets. This fuel is CO2 neutral. This means that as much carbon dioxide as the tree itself absorbed during growth is given off, which reduces the danger of the greenhouse effect. The process of heating is controlled by electronics. It is enough to configure it once, and the heat of the flame will be adjusted automatically. We used to export boilers to the UK, so we could say that we also sold to the European Union. But not only boilers are in demand. For example, Germany is interested in Ukrainian components for pellet production machines. During the presentation, someone said they would gladly buy components in Ukraine if they were compatible. They know that they are cheaper in Ukraine and the quality of metal is the same. It's an open market that should be developed. The EU has already stringent requirements for exported pellets. The Ukrainian companies that have confirmed their quality have great prospects. We use 15,000 tons of pellets in our facilities a year, 10,000 tons of which are wooden pellets. The other 5,000 are agricultural pellets. We usually use Class A2 on our sites. Of course, if the price is suitable, it is better to buy A1, that is, exported to the EU. A1 has less sulfur content and leaves less soot. The criteria is different in the EU. Their equipment is also more sensitive to these properties. Our equipment allows using A2. At this large complex, hundreds of cubic meters of high-grade wood per day are turned into boards and beams. At each stage of processing, a significant amount of waste is produced. The machines are equipped with a special way to accumulate sawdust, which is the raw material for the production of pellets. The machines that produce edge boards from splinters, which are not suitable for the production of pellets. So splinters are shredded twice in a special machine. Before the wood mass is converted into pellets, it is checked for oversized items once more. A system of brushes will not miss a single piece bigger than a grain of millet. Next is to dry it in a giant cylinder. The company's heat generator is also powered by wood waste. Eventually, the raw materials are processed with steam to increase adhesive properties and then sent to the granulator. Special rolls force the mass through a slowly rotating metal matrix. Finished pellets have a smell and hue of real wood. Pelletizing must meet certain technical specifications. Samples from each batch are sent to the laboratory to receive a quality certificate. The product is put into the refrigerator because granulated fuel must cool down to 40 degrees. Throughout the production process, a lot of dust and debris is created. So at the final stage, finished pellets are sieved through a powerful automatic vibration sieve. The clean product is then put into big bags. Each holds a ton of pellets. The product is received by the consumer in those bags. Progress in this field forges ahead. A new type of pellet has appeared, bio-coal pellets. Before granulation, the wood is roasted without oxygen at between 200 and 330 degrees Celsius. The efficiency of these pellets is higher than that of usual ones. It takes twice less of these for heating.
It
is easier to build a mini factory, which will be more cost-effective. In a large factory, the production cost will be higher because of logistics and lots of staff. All plants are usually locally close to the raw materials. According to the forecasts of one of the consulting consortiums, world consumption of wood pellets will increase by almost 2 times by 2020. European countries are leaders in pellet consumption. Their capacities are not enough to meet the rapidly increasing demand. The deficit will be eliminated through imports. Ukrainian enterprises are ready to produce in larger volumes and offer products a third cheaper than in Europe. There is a great demand for our pellets in the European Union as their price is much lower than that of pellets produced in the EU, because our production and raw materials are cheaper, and local suppliers are now establishing production in as large volumes as possible and prioritize exports. This does not mean that there are not enough pellets for domestic market. There is enough in general, because there is competition and new factories are being opened. So there is no deficit as such. We can provide everyone and develop further. Pellets are a product which are in high demand in both foreign and domestic markets. The demand is growing from year to year. There is enough raw material in our country. Our international analysts predict that pellet production in Ukraine will continue growing and developing. According to the National Renewable Energy Plan, Ukraine plans to increase the use of alternative energy sources 10 times by 2020, which will allow Ukraine to not only stop importing gas, but also to export Ukrainian domestic gas.